targets up. Ragnaros landing a 4-man Sulfurish Smash. Durance of Hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak. Make it a quad kill set up by that ETC.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubrak, core at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4, make it 5
And it
for
does
nothing.
knock them all up. What a play! Oh my God! Somebody please clip that.
Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming series. It's Season 10, and tonight we've got a matchup from Division D West between We're Scaling and Puns Upon a Time. If you haven't been here before, welcome to the Regen Network. I'm Aero. That's Rec. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm pretty good, actually. It's been a minute, right?
It has
Season
been.
10. What's up? What's up, Season 10? You know what? You know how I've known it's been a while? I have 2 monitors now.
You have 2
So
monitors, so you can see
actually look at my
everything
stuff.
now.
I can see everything. Like, I can even pull up Twitch chat, which I just remembered I'm able to do, so let me do that.
Fair enough.
There we go.
Well, this is our first cast of Season 10, and I'm really excited about these teams here. We got some names that we're familiar with, we got some names we're not so familiar with, and they're going to go ahead and get this game started. So let's do a real quick recap of, look at the division, look at the map bans that we have, and then we'll get right into this draft. So our division here, it looks worse than it is. They're not actually 10th and 11th. It's just nobody's played any games. However, 3 teams have played games, and they've gone 2-0 so far. Dominations across the board in Division D West so far. So we'll see if we see a 2-0 tonight. Keep up the trend. And on our maps here, we've got the bans coming out from our blue team, We're Scaling. That's going to be on Braxis Holdout and Hanamura Temple. So a couple of 2-lane maps there. Hanamura being the latest addition to the Season 10 lineup. And then Puns Upon a Time, they banned out Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines. Our map pick tonight, Dragonshire, coming out from the Puns.
Oh boy, that's really exciting.
How
You know
do you
what,
feel about
Aero?
Dragonshire, Rec?
It's funny. This was like my map long ago, and I'm talking like 6 seasons ago.
Season 4, wow.
Yeah, like season 4. I think season 4. This was my map. But nowadays, I completely forgot how to play on it, so it's no longer my map. But it's not a bad one by any means. I mean, here it is. You can see it. That's a funky band, but you know what? I'm okay with it. Orpheus is pretty cool.
Well,
Hero, who's even good anymore?
I mean, there are a lot of great heroes. Orphea is actually a really solid hero. She brings a lot to the table, so it's not a surprise, especially if Puns have a really solid Orphea player, that you would want to get rid of that Orphea player. You've got control points where people are going to be standing in narrow locations, and getting those chaos stacks and getting the resets on her Shadow Waltz provides a crap ton of damage for her. So it's not a big surprise. Tassador, of course, still a really strong hero since his rework. So no surprise there. ETC, again, a really high value meta tank right now. Probably the best tank in the game right now. But
So
May
I've
brings a
heard-
lot of disruption too. So really good bans here. Deckard Kane going to be the first one to be picked. How do you feel about that, Rek? I believe you've got a certain in with Mr. Kane, don't you?
Oh, indeed I do. I believe he's somewhere around here. I think he's nearby. Oh yes, Aero, I'm here now. Welcome. Stay a while and listen. Ooh. Yeah, no, I'm a big Deckard fan. He's definitely one of my preferred heroes. He's got a pretty versatile build going too. Ruby recently getting nerfed, but honestly, like, it's still good.
It's still good, and I mean, I'm not going to name any names, but some people have always felt that Ruby was really a fantastic pick. And for those people, it was really great to have Blizzard bring Ruby kind of into the forefront and honestly force people who aren't playing Deckard to learn how to pick up potions, to look for those small but incredibly impactful minor potions.
Yeah, for sure. I actually was expecting a potion ban along with the nerf along with the cooldown bring back to 20 seconds. But it just went back to 20 seconds cooldown. So
I think it's in a good place.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I really do think that talent tier is kind of tough. It seems to be between Ruby and the shield potion. I think it might just be potion of shielding, to be honest.
I think it is.
Yeah, those seem to be the two picks on that talent tier.
So we've got a couple tank bans here. Diablo and Garrosh, obviously the ETC earlier. May is banned out as well. So that leaves heroes up like Johanna and Muradin are probably the two most likely. Anubarak is in there. Cho'Gall could be a pick on Dragonshire. It could definitely be a pick for really for either team at this point. I guess not anymore. Blaze could potentially be a main tank as well. So we'll have to see how the puns flex around in their draft. But, you know, we're scaling, and I mean, right now we've got at least two heroes that could be scaling heroes, right? We could go Animal Husbandry. We could go, what is it, Taste for Explosions? Is that the constant upgrade? Raynor could be stacking. He could be scaling with Veteran Marksman. And your favorite, Muradin, with the Stormbolt, right? Perfect Storm.
I'm a big fan of Perfect Storm. I like Third Wind as well. I think Muradin's just a lot of fun. He's really simple, really straightforward, and a very safe pick. Apparently, he's super powerful too, and just kind of like no one really realizes that. Like just how impactful he can be just simply by being there. So that's also a good pick. All right, it's going to be a main tank Blaze, it seems.
And with the Sonya, so our offlane going to be Sonya versus Rexxar. Sonya going to have to really be mindful of the positioning of the Misha and mindful of the cooldown of the stun to make sure she doesn't get her whirlwinds interrupted. But if she plays around that, I think that Sonya can potentially win the fights. But I think Rexxar, if he plays it well, is going to have the advantage over the control point. What do you think, Rek?
Yeah, I think generally speaking, Rexxar just needs to have Misha wait for the whirlwinds to come out and then just get the stun on Sonya. It's a pretty simple stun to land. So Sonya's going to have a rough time, but I don't think it can honestly go either way. You know, generally I'm going to have to give the edge to Rexxar though in this scenario.
And as far as the team fight goes, I'm looking forward to 16 and seeing Greymane maybe go into that Executioner between Anduin, Jaina, Blaze. You got a lot of different ways to proc that additional 30% damage on those auto attacks. And as we get, you know, later, we're going to see how the heroes like, you know, Raynor, what talents do they take? Does Junkrat go into the grenade build? What are we going to see? It's going to be an exciting match either way. Let's go ahead and get our teams introduced. Why don't you take it away, Rek?
All right, so we got your blue team. That's We Are Scaling, or just We're Scaling, if you're so inclined. Lexadecimal playing Deckard is Icarium. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. Junkrat is on Junkrat, rather. Tarswell is on Rexxar. Leo 158 on Raynor, and Yanthor on Muradin.
All right, and over here on the right for Puns Upon a Time, the red team, we got Lulu on Anduin, Juggerot playing Blaze, Barber, they're going to be on the Sonya, Bob 33 on the Greymane, and Pet Wolverine on the Jaina. And we are going to see Sonya here looking to maybe interrupt and catch the Blaze on the rotation up. We'll have to keep an eye out and see. And this, let's check this out right now. Is it there's the spear. There we go, the spear. And Misha's going to get that charge. And there's the whirlwind. After the charge, of course, getting the opportunity to not only get the healing off of that whirlwind, but also get that movement speed to try to stay away from Misha whenever possible.
Mm-hmm. I like this Blaze standing where he is right now, kind of towards that delta area. He's going to be able to throw some oil into his opponent's bush, you know, slow them down, slow down those rotations potentially. Not right now, though. It seems like they're kind of going to leave Raynor middle.
We do see here the Greymane getting onto that siege camp quite early. And of your available heroes, Greymane's going to be really the best one to do that. Sonya getting the kill onto Misha, so that is going to put Rexar in a bit of an awkward spot, especially since he doesn't have any mana right now. So, going to be a few moments, but Misha will be back soon. Don't worry. Don't call PETA. By the time they answer, she'll be back. But we got Blaze charging in on Yanthor. A big root coming in from Anduin did interrupt the leap, and that is first blood going over to the side of Puns Upon a Time.
Really good job there, recognizing that this Johanna was rotating rather unsafely. And you know, that nerf a while ago to the Iron Skin makes that a lot rougher. You know, you can't just walk around quite as willy-nilly on Johanna. You gotta be careful.
So all of that's true, but that's not happening in this game. In this
You're right,
game,
because Johanna's literally not here, is she? I'm kind of a clown, aren't I? Wow. This is what we call an NA production.
Oh, what
guys.
a great boop there by Junkrat, but it's Blaze. He's going to jet propulsion out, and the channel does get flipped up top there. Thanks
I'll
to
say
Misha.
this much, though, just to save myself. There is a new thing, the medallion. That is a factor nowadays. A medallion, for those who don't know, is basically a free unstoppable. Sort of like a Johanna Iron Skin.
Well, we're going to see Leo get caught by a Blaze stun. Greymane's going to go ahead and dive in, both of them getting caught there by Deckard's Roll of Sealing. But just a little bit of damage coming in from the tower. Apparently, Chromie is talking to Colonel Pants and says that Puns Upon a Time is going to win this game. Well, Chromie may have the ability to see into the future and/or the past, but we don't.
No,
We'll just
we
have
don't.
to wait and watch as this plays out. 3 versus 2 in the bot lane, just the tank and the healer. Blaze gonna get caught by the root, does get that jet propulsion just in time. Almost got caught by that.
I know, the
Junkrat
Junkrat was prepared for it. Your boy.
Up in the top lane, checking in on Sonya versus Misha here. Misha's gonna get that cap flipped. This could give the channel opportunity over there to We're Scaling. But in the top lane with this Bruiser camp, they had to send up Junkrat to help clear this. With his concussion mine, he should be able to boop some of these over the wall, or at least closer, just to make it a little bit easier to clear. But that's going to give an even fight in the bot lane as Sonya and Jaina rotating down now could see a full 5-man in the bot lane to try to get some pressure here. As Murden having to get out of dodge, just a little bit too low to really keep fighting in that. But with third wind, he's already nearly full. Hello, Wraithling. I don't want to know what that acronym stands for then.
Twat.
All right, well, we do have here the DPS from Puns getting the bottom camp. That's going to give him that spell armor here. Blaze getting caught, taking a lot of damage, does get the jet propulsion to stun and slow things down. But here comes the cavalry, or at least the non-tracer version of cavalry. Giving now the point over to Puns Upon a Time, and I gotta say, you know, Blaze doing a really good job of surviving in a lot of these encounters where, I mean, even that was a 1v3 for a fair bit of time, and we've seen that a few times where he gets locked down and is somehow able to make it out of these dangerous positions. But not that time. Jet propulsion right into the concussion, or rather into the steel trap, and Blaze is going to go down. I caster curse. Just a little bit too long, too many opportunities for We're Scaling, and they're going to get one. And now Rexar in the middle, trying to send Misha all the stall missed.
No.
Barber was
That's
so close.
unfortunate.
I was thinking that Misha was gonna be able to stall out the Sonya, but then she stopped, but Sonya missed the spear. Didn't have vision, so just had to kind of do it as soon as she could get anywhere within range. Kind of hope.
That's all right. It's a good on we're scaling to get that going though.
But check out in the bot lane here. So we do have the siege camp, but now Yanthor taking a lot of damage from the towers. Again, third win, so he's going to be in great shape here in a moment. But going to get that first tower down, and level 10's here for both teams. So we'll have to see how does that affect their play here as Water Elemental and Rainer's Raider, the first heroics that we see coming out there.
Hilariously, both going down immediately. Light Bomb gonna connect onto only Misha, but the disengage from Deckard Cain manages to slow everybody down. But here comes Combustion. Unfortunately, it gets murdered by Deckard Cain once again with that Scroll of Sealing. And they just keep on coming out. Is this Cube Mastery that I'm seeing? It is.
The roots are on fire.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a fun build. Field Study, Cube Mastery. It's pretty filthy.
That's actually the build that I've been taking a lot lately.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Just continuing that spell power bonus, lots and lots and lots of damage, and you can cast a Scroll of Sealing almost instantly after the first one lands.
Oh yeah.
And with Field Study coming in, giving you that extra, what, 40% potentially spell power?
Up to 40, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, then your rubies are better. It's a really fantastic build, and when you've got heroes like Blaze or Sonya, even Greymane potentially, it allows you to provide for those disengages like we saw earlier, and Gladiator medallions are 5-minute cooldowns, and they're a 1-second unstoppable, so you get out a run route just to go right into the next one. That said, Sonya up here in the top does pop Wrath of the Berserker and is now trying to spin to win as Junkrat coming up did get stunned there by the Misha. And,
I heard boars.
You did. Whole lot of reporting going on in chat.
Oh dear, that's not good.
Reporting for reporting.
Mods, please ban.
All that good stuff. Mods ban? Yeah, I'll get on that. Actually, aren't you one?
I don't think so, but...
No, you should say something in chat and I'll make you a mod.
Alright, here.
But pushing down in the bot lane is Puns Upon a Time. They're going to get that whole wall down. So I think they've actually, they actually got a little bit more value out of that pressure than We're Scaling did with the Dragon Knight. Now, Blaze is heading to the Dragon, but a lot of We're Scaling are heading on the way here. And they have pretty significant poke, right? Junkrat can poke from pretty far away. So can Deckard. Rainer's got the Raider, exactly. So they've got a lot of potential. They can't... There's no way that Puns Upon a Time is going to get this with those 3 heroes standing by.
Not right now.
Can they get Muradin?
They don't want
No, that horsey is just too agile. Juking everything by running in a straight line. Alright, Puns Upon a Time picking up the bottom shrine. Meanwhile, up in the top here, once again, Rexar very low on mana. So it's going to have to kind of pull back. That's going to give Sony the opportunity now to switch over to the shrine. And Dragon Shrine's going to flip red here in a moment.
I mean, that do be how you play against Rexar. You kind of just got to starve him of mana by smacking that barrier. And, yeah.
Oh, what a combo. Nice that jet propulsion with the light bomb combustion. Deckard gone. We're not going to see any more of those Scroll of Ceilings here, but they're looking for Muradin. Not going to get him. They did get that root, but just not quite enough follow-up. Pet Wolverine, 300 health. Rainer, however, sitting at a cool 10 or so, is going to be able to make it out.
Yeah. A little spooky, but, you know, he's good now. He's back.
And once again, so we got Junkrat here. Junkrat setting up to make sure that he can stall out this Dragon Knight. And it's not going to be easy if he's by himself. We do have Rainer below, but it's definitely not as easy for Rainer to do it. But Puns are going to have to send somebody up to deal with him and pressure him off that position if they want to actually pick up the dragon.
Or, you know, they could just kill the bear.
They could kill the bear.
Yeah.
Barber up here, you know, just doing work. Getting his
doing
blades
great
out.
job.
Giving a little haircut to Misha. Greymane is going to land some damage quite a bit with that Cursed Bullet. Blaze is trying to stall him out with the body blocks. It's enough with that Water Elemental. He just could not get out of there. I want to check. Let's see. Does Murden have his... he does have his Gladiator Medallion. So...
I don't think I've seen any yet. I'm wondering...
I was actually
about.
just thinking that too. You know what? Let's go through. 3,
Yeah. Has anyone
4,
used any?
Raynor has.
Okay.
8, 9. Raynor's the only one who's on cooldown now. Obviously, it's been 11.5 minutes in this game, so somebody could have used one earlier. But it is...
That's true. That is true.
Oh, there's Boars up in the top. They could get this Sonya with Junkrat nearby. Sonya trying to spin to stay alive, but it's just not enough. I want to thank Rexar for the global shout-out to remind us to check his lane. Aethling San, man who sits on fence gets splinters, must pick a side.
Okay.
Indeed, indeed.
That was weird. I had Raynor's talents pop up for no reason. I didn't think I pressed anything. Weird.
Do you have Raynor selected? Do you hit 4?
I might have clicked them, but no, I don't. That's really strange.
Jaina did get caught there by Misha, but instead of finding herself in a threatening, dangerous position, she instead finishes her trait quest and now has that ice block.
Well done.
All right. 17-17. Only one Dragon Knight so far in this game. Not a lot of kills either. 3-3. And this game, 12.5 minutes in. Raynor, though, looks like he's going to be able to get this. Not quite.
No.
Not quite. Puns do get to the point in time.
I'm liking the camps that I've been seeing, Aero. They've been coming out pretty much on cooldown. Right now is an exception, of course, but otherwise, yeah.
Just a couple Siege Giants over here enjoying their picnic.
Yeah, just a couple dudes.
Definitely not social distancing. I mean, look at that. They're
But
right
wait,
next
hold
to-
on.
holding on to each other.
Junkrat might social distance his way back into the Hall of Storms there. Yeah, he does. Sorry, that was the stupidest joke I think I've ever made.
Well, with Wrath and the Bruiser Camp up here, Sonya's able to get the kill onto Misha and pushing hard onto these towers. Is going to get both towers as well as the wall. And Wrath's still sitting at a cool half of its original duration, so doing what she can to keep that going with the Fury. And still
Enchant
some minions
Boots
too.
MVP there, by the way. Enchant Boots is the reason that Lulu managed to get out of that sleep from Deckard Cain. Oh my goodness.
Honestly, I think I missed that because I was talking about the Siege Giants.
No, you're good. You're good.
That's so sad.
There was a stay a while and listen, and Lulu missed it by a pixel thanks to her Enchant Boots activating. Not even kidding.
Well, up in the top again, looking at Misha missing the spear, though, onto Rexar. Has Wrath of the Berserker up, but is losing that duration. Back in the bottom lane, though, with the Siege Camp. Once upon a time, looking to see if they can't get more damage onto this keep wall. They do have the one tower down and about half of the wall. Junkrat just bouncing all over the map here. Not respecting the boundaries of the hedges or walls or fountains.
Like I'm actually looking for something here. I like his positioning. Here it comes. The light bomb comes out and gets the little bit of damage onto Deckard. Actually, he's going to go down anyway.
When you say a
That
little
was-
bit, holy cow,
When
that was
when I
quick.
say a little bit, I mean a lot of bit. But here comes the Riptire looking for something. It gets destroyed, actually, by Juggernaut. Doing a great job of keeping that at bay. And it looks like they're going to just go ahead and keep pushing this keep.
I gotta say, there must have been like a giant nail or road construction there for that Riptire to get flat so quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And it did it again. This time, interesting. Is this like a caster thing or a spectator thing? Because now Anduin
E.
talents just popped up.
Hit E.
E?
You probably clicked on a player at some point.
I must have. It's really strange.
All right, well, they want to get the siege camp here on We're Scaling side. They do get that stolen away. Oh, crud.
Oh,
Well, Sonya
hi,
finally
Rexar.
did catch up to Rexar.
No.
So that is a lot of value now for this Sonya. That opens up the top shrine and makes it even more difficult. We've already seen that Rexar has been having difficulties here. Junkrat does make it over the wall, but just one auto attack from Anduin makes it on its way there and does finish the job. And Muradin just toast. Tried to jump, but got caught by Anduin a couple of times now that Muradin has been trying to get out with his Dwarf Toss, but the root's coming in clutch at just the right time to make sure that he doesn't go very far.
He was toast because of combustion.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, looks like keeps going down here, Aero. This actually, do you think this might be game? 33
It's
seconds
looking
left.
really
for
strong
Muradin.
for them. Yeah, I mean, level 20s,
Yeah.
they've got a 15-16 minute Dragon Knight, and 2 heroes are
Greymane.
down.
Yeah, they got Greymane too. I mean, Juggerog looking a little worse for wear, but I think he might be fine.
Boar's coming out, will slow, but we've got the sleep.
Ooh.
Doesn't stop the Dragon Knight, though. The Dragon Knight's still sitting at about 80% health, as it is just crushing this core, 20% down, and that's going to be it. A leap of faith at the end, just to give Juggerog there a couple of wings, lighten up like Red Bull, as Puns Upon a Time going to take game number 1. And you know what? It sounds like Chromie was correct in this one.
It certainly sounds that way, at least to me.
So 3 kills to 9. Rek, there were 3 kills to 3 at almost 12 minutes into this game. It wasn't until the very end that we started to see Puns Upon a Time pick up those kills. They got the kill onto the Rexar there at the very end. They got the kill onto who was the other one? Muradin. They got Muradin a couple of times because of those roots. So really a fantastic play here from Puns Upon a Time. They were definitely in control of the game, although not in a dominating way, right? There was only one fort down up until like the 15-minute markers.
Yeah.
In fact, the whole time. It wasn't until the very end that with the Dragon Knight that they got that keep down. So this was a very back and forth game. It took just one extra kill each time to get them ultimately into the kill and win the game.
Yeah, I think that, Puns Upon a Time did a better job of holding the bottom lane, whereas in the top lane, the solo lane matchup was actually pretty even if you paid attention, which you did. It was very even up there, but in the bottom lane, and I suppose you could say the middle lane was actually technically in favor of rescaling, but Dragonshire games are generally one bot lane, so Puns Upon a Time kind of had that advantage going for them for the latter half of the game.
Yes, indeed. And I think I've shown both stats and talents, but I'll show stats there. Hadn't. All right, so Rek, did you know that there was, for the most recent event, Craft Wars, I think is what it's called? Have you seen the video for that? I
think I did. Yeah, I was on the potty when I watched it, so I wasn't paying much attention. But I think I did see it. Yeah, they kind of like mashed the like previous trailers that have been for the former games together, right? Like, I think a
little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Trailer, right? What's
Why
up?
don't we go watch it? You can watch it in 60 seconds when it comes back, but these guys can watch it right now. We'll be right back.
We have a realm to destroy. So shall it be. Lay waste to this world. not falter.
Nice one.
Cold as ice.
Are you ready for the Inter-Multiversal Nexo Weight Championship? You better be! El Bandito Imperious! Gata de Batalla Lele! Mel Gocho! Ganas! ¡Legendario! Bienvenidos a la catedral de las mejores batallas del Nexo. ¡Ding, ding, ding! The fun is on! ¡Épico! What a takedown! Give it up for MC Tombstone! Rampage, alright! We got ourselves a winner! We're going to Nexomania, y'all!
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. We are going into game number 2 between We're Scaling and Puns Upon a Time, and our map choice here is going to be Battlefield of Eternity. So we just saw Dragonshire there, picked and won by our red team, Puns Upon a Time. They previously banned out Cursed Hollow and Infernal Shrines, 2 of the big maps, whereas We're Scaling, they banned out Braxis Holdout and Hanamura, 2 of the smaller maps. So maybe there's a little bit of interest, you know, to consider with these teams as far as what their bans are and where they want to play and how they want to play. But that being said, if you're looking at that as a perspective, Once Upon a Time banning out a couple of pretty much high macro level maps, and they took us to a pretty, you know, decent macro map and played a pretty good macro game. So maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. Who knows?
Aero, it's okay. I never know what I'm talking about, so it balances out.
Hello, Johanna? Is that you?
Oh my god! Well, this is gonna be the meme this season, isn't it? For me, well, my career is over. I'm
Pretty
a
much.
clown.
Yeah, you're done. Sorry.
I'm
Next.
Donzo. Next.
All right, so we're sticking with May and ETC bans. You know, taking the first pick, sometimes you could see a difference in how the bans have priority. We're going to see exactly the same bans coming out from Pun's team. We'll have to wait and see if we're going to get an Orphea ban here from We're Scaling. She doesn't quite have, like, the race, but really none of the heroes that have been banned really do. So they're really focusing more on their team fight dynamics as opposed to the race value on Battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the heroes that you like on BOE Rec?
Oh man, that one. Tyrande is a fun one. I actually I actually enjoy Karazim here as well. But as far as not healers go, I'm a big fan of. I actually like Zul'jin here. It's a little wild, considering that this map, not that it takes a short amount of time, but it's shorter than other maps, at least in my experience. Li Ming is a good one. There she is. And of course Vala. And call me crazy here, which actually isn't that crazy due to recent times. Diva. I'm not sure. Is she banned right now from play?
Yes. Diva and Gazlo are both banned for this week and next week because of their recent reworks. So we won't be seeing that. You know, and I was thinking earlier about, you know, the prevalence of Li Ming in a lot of Stormling games in the current meta, and likely continuing into Season 10. She certainly was prevalent pretty frequently in Season 9. And, you know, how do you deal with it? Because a lot of people are taking these big burst damage spell abilities in the Arcane Orbs, even missiles and all that stuff, especially if you go Seeker, which see here on a Battlefield of Eternity. And my point in all this is that how do you deal with that? Well, one of the ways that you deal with that is by bringing minions to the table. So you've got your Anubarak, you've got even potentially like a Misha, you've got a Asmodan, Zagara. These aren't heroes that necessarily you'll often find on Battlefield of Eternity because of the race value, but you might see them pick up a little bit of priority against a Li Ming because they give you a little bit of a shield against the big burst damage that she can provide.
That's why I take Treant against her.
Treant is another good option. We are going to see. Let's talk about these drafts because we're already getting into some interesting territory here. We get all of the front line coming out from We're Scaling, which is sometimes a little bit abnormal to see, especially since neither of these heroes are big race heroes on BOE. What do you think we're going to see? Where are they going to go with this?
They might go actually like a team fight comp. I'm kind of wondering myself now because now you got me thinking. I'm trying to think of the next best mage. Actually, I could see Chromie coming out here, for sure.
You know what
I'll
I think?
put my money. What do you think?
And that doesn't necessarily change it. I think when you've got two really strong frontline heroes like that, the Anubarak, the Yrel, in some ways even the Cassia, that the Lily kind of doesn't really lend itself to that, but that's probably more to counter their auto attacks. I think we could see a Sergeant Hammer.
Okay, yeah. I can still see that working. Like you said, I can still see that kind of working. Right now, there doesn't seem to be too much of an answer to that. I guess Li Ming and Muradin. Oh, that's not true. Artanis can swap her pretty good if he positions properly, but I'm still
the
not
thing about that is you
fully
can
against
unstoppable that at I think 4. So
4.
And that's a relatively short cooldown, so you could do it every time he could swap. So that wouldn't be of great concern. But what we do have is a probably a Bloodlust comp, and that is a great answer to that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go Bloodlust and your team doesn't want to fight,
Leave. Just leave
and walk away.
Yeah.
Do the classic cinematic moment where you drop the bomb and walk away and don't even care, and the shock blast doesn't actually touch you because movies.
Listen, let me have my moments, okay? That's gonna be me one day, Aero. Because I'm awesome.
Rek, I believe that you can do anything you want to.
Heck yeah. At least someone has to, right?
So, very clearly, a lot of race on the side of Puns Upon a Time here. Not so much race on the side of We're Scaling. So they're really going to have to find these team fights. Medivh does no damage, basically, to the portals.
Yeah.
Cassia does some, especially if she goes charge strikes, which I imagine she would. Lily, not really a lot. I mean, they just don't have a lot. So they're going to have to be looking for those fights and then, you know, try to focus on those immortals. But let's go ahead and get our teams introduced, Rek.
All right, let's go. All right. On the left side, the blue team, We're Scaling. That's going to be Yanthor playing Lily, Leo 158 on Cassia, Tarswell on Medivh. I'm going to pronounce this wrong again. Icarium on Yrel, and Lexadecimal on Not Johanna, Anubarak.
All right, and over here to the right, we got Puns Upon a Time. It's going to be Umbob, 33 there on the Raynor. We got Lulu on the Rhaegar. Juggerob playing the Muradin. Pet Wolverine there on the Li Ming. And Artanis is going to be played by Barber. So, checking into these talents. So, it is going to be Perfect Storm. So, as expected, you know, Muradin and Artanis, two really high race value heroes, right? With Perfect Storm and Sledgehammer. Muradin, probably the best race tank, I think.
I think you might be right about that. I'm not entirely sure. He's got to be with Sledgehammer.
Yeah, and of course, all of the race talents as we get a pause from the players. As well as a sorry, because apparently, sorry. Oh, are they banning? Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Indeed.
It is banned. Is this just a restart?
It is if they want to do that. It's ultimately it doesn't. It's not a big deal, but it is it's appropriate. I mean,
yeah.
Skin, so that is up to the teams to address. If We're Scaling says, hey, we don't want to deal with that, then yeah, they reset it. All right, so it sounds like they're okay with it. So I assume, yeah, we're going right back.
What is it? It's something like the projectile moves faster than it's supposed to.
Yeah, his windup is a little bit different.
Okay.
And so, the animation of it is. Somebody said the other day that it's like faster. I don't know that it's necessarily faster, but I think that the actual animation makes it look like it's faster.
Got it.
So.
Throws people off. I think that's kind of similar to the Li Ming one. I think it's something like the. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try it. Something to do with the disintegrate.
Yeah, because his normal windup, he if I remember correctly, he kind of leans back and then he throws it forward. Whereas this skin, you can see he just kind of points.
He just kind of
lunges,
yeah.
So I don't know that it necessarily changes the time, but it certainly is a different reaction. But
right.
In any case, let's check in on our solo laners. Now, this solo lane is kind of an interesting setup because if Yrel versus Artanis, if Artanis is anywhere but BOE, he probably goes Protector of Ire and gets the stacks and just sits on Yrel, stacking and stacking and stacking. But it's BOE, and you want to have that race. So I'm still a little bit surprised because I think that they have so much race between Li Ming, Raynor, Muradin, and frankly even Rhaegar that they probably could have said, you know what, let's just go Protector of Ire and build a little bit more into our team fight.
Watching those Medivh stacks right now, almost halfway there.
It is charge strikes for the Cassia, so she is realistically going to be their best racer overall.
Right.
So if they put like a 4-1 to try to defend and have somebody on the race, it'll likely be Cassia.
Yeah, for sure.
Colonel Pants coming in with the Alice emojis. And it's such a good one too. Like it's really like that moment. It's kind of like I think it's kind of like the Pog emoji, right? Is the Pog one where they look almost like they're high? Like, oh, this is so good.
They all look like they're high, dude.
Right.
But it's a stupid talent thing again. Get out of here. But the big thing, I think the Pog one. No, the Pog one is the dude like gasping, kind of.
Oh, okay. Well, Alice doesn't look like she's gasping. Not like that.
Not really.
So it is Cassia there. Got a little bit of damage as we see Medivh flying down. But as expected, the race, if left to their own devices here, once upon a time, clearing that out really quickly. And because they have so much race on all of their heroes, they're going to leave Artanis in the bot lane and start to work on the race here for second half. But a huge stun coming out from a Nubrak onto 3. Yrel into the back lane with a great hammer... hammer of the righteous or whatever, knocking them all back in, but nobody dying actually in all of that.
Yeah, Lulu got really low, but if you saw, she kind of juked some abilities there at the very end, but that was pretty cool.
Well, with that, the Immortal sitting at about 20%, maybe a little bit less here, as Muradin getting that Stormbolt out. A little bit more damage here, just the 1 bar left. Went from 3,300 to 1,695 just with a couple abilities. And this is a quick, easy burn now for Artanis and Li Ming. They're going to burn that down quickly. Yeah. Icarium, however, trying to get out, trying to get into that portal, just can't quite get the click. And sometimes when they're just players around, it's very difficult to actually get in and make use of those. Why would an Artanis take stacks on map? Wouldn't. I was applying to casters. Probably not. But I think it could have happened in this circumstance. Maybe not. This isn't typically a very long map, but holy cow, Lily getting absolutely destroyed. Bird and Rhaegar, and I think a little bit of damage from the Immortal.
Ooh, Nubrak going in, trying to find something, gets protected, but doesn't find anything.
Immortal doing a lot of work, sitting at about half health, is level 7 now here for we're scaling. And it is going to be Cassia really deep in there. Does get... I think she actually had to use her medallion there.
The medallion was used. I saw it. Saw it with my own 2 eyes. Felt good.
And those medallions, it takes a little bit to get used to them.
Right.
Right? They're on the 6 key, which isn't super convenient.
I mean,
kind of
you can
far
move
away. It's
it.
socially
you can
distanced.
drag it. It's a little socially distanced from everyone.
From all of your other hotkeys. But yeah, obviously you can set up a new hotkey or what have you.
Hotkey, heroes of the keys.
Heroes
Stop
of the...
talent bar. Go away.
That is strange that you're having that issue.
Yeah, it just like pops up every now and then. It's this is the second time it was Cassia. I'm not even looking at her.
Oh yeah, Colonel Pant's saying all the other reasons why they wouldn't take that talent. Oh, big stun! Medivh caught out by the full force of Puns Upon a Time. Holy cow.
Last I saw stacks, they were at 24. Hold on, let me check the stream. Looks like 33 here. Oh no.
Oh, that feels bad. That was pretty close. Urel here getting stunned as well and taking half of her health in the resulting blow up there from Pet Wolverine on the Li Ming. There goes another Gladiator medallion there. Icarium now using. So that's at least 2 we've seen so far in this game.
Yeah.
Oh my. Wraithling and Colonel Pants drawing blood in chat. You pick another hero.
Oh, about the Protector of Iron or whatever?
Exactly.
I mean, I don't hate the talent. I would agree that it's probably not the pick here, or on Hanamura, really. Anywhere else, I'd be pretty okay with. Like, if there was an Artanis last game on Dragonshire, hell yeah, I would take it.
Oh, into a Misha or Urel?
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Colonel Pants is correct. Like, the way you deal with that is you just don't engage, right? Like, you just leave it out. Urel, or not Urel, Nubrak, rather, diving in does get the stun, but Race already almost here to half, and Puns Upon a Time is going to take us to halftime, and with level 10s, probably going to burn this down really fast. Send that Immortal up into the top lane, where Medivh is doing his absolute best to try to kill the Shaman camp.
Oh dear, but that's going to leave a full, literally full health MO. Good to go. Cassia talents, you need to stop. I must have clicked her or something. There's no way.
You can try the E thing. Just hit like 1 and then E, and that should unselect.
I just tried that. Yeah. There we go.
All right, so full shield Immortal coming into the top lane. Both teams do have level 10. It is Bloodlust as expected. Hyperion for that siege as well. So a lot of value in these talents here. Leyline Seal, Ardent Defender. It is the Cocoon going out there onto Rhaegar, so holding the pause button there on the Bloodlust. And there it goes, looking for that Leyline coming in. There's a big Leyline. Hits everybody except for Raynor. The fort is going to go down, and Urel's going to get away. However, Nubrak's going to dive right in. Is left alone on an island there for a little bit, but got a big stun. Might not make it out of this one, though.
Nah.
And Cassia with the Ball Lightning spreading around the team there. Getting a little bit of damage. Ultimately going to force Puns to pull back as they're now hitting up to 13 in just a few moments. And that's it. MO dead.
MO go bye-bye.
So, We're Scaling really needs to find themselves team fights that are not in the middle of Immortal phases.
Yeah, basically. They need to find someone out of position. They need to just find something. They got to engage first. They need something. That's not immortal based, yes.
Yeah, and then with that, they've got to find structure value. They got to get caught up in XP. Pick up camps to help them. Like they've got an uphill battle here, being down 2 levels, and with minimal race. They could get a good setup with a ley line and a cocoon if they can set that up right. The setup was there in the last fight. They could have potentially gotten the Rainer, who was very low, but there was just too much threat from the Immortal as well, and the fort being low.
Yeah. Honestly, what this kind of boils down to is I think they kind of shoehorn themselves into a pick comp of sorts, but I'm also noticing now they really don't have much in the wave 3 department, where scaling that is. And actually, before we even go on fun that, Bloodlust was popped once again. Not doing too much, actually, just kidding, it totally is on Lexidecimal. Goes down. Actually, this might be a keep here. Juggerog getting pretty low, but this is a Muradin we're talking about. He's just gonna go ahead and heal himself right back up. That's actually a really good pair to Rhaegar and Muradin, because Rhaegar's heals are pretty slow, and Muradin can kind of heal himself, so that kind of helps pretty nicely.
Well, and really everybody on the side of Puns Upon a Time has some form of self-sustain, whether it's self-healing like Raynor, or the self-shielding that Artanis provides. Even Li Ming with that level 4 dominance has the potential for some self-healing. So, like you mentioned, Rhaegar being a little bit slower on his healing potential, that provides a lot of value.
Absolutely. Oh, hello, Invasion.
Well, the landline did go out, but not quite enough to get there. Can't tell if the camp did get stolen away by We're Scaling, but they lose a lot for it. Holy cow.
Not worth it. I liked the effort.
You like the what? I'm sorry?
I liked the effort. That was a nice effort, but it's just not worth it in that scenario. I think I'm glad that they went for something,
They really needed to, right? They were on the same talent tier.
Absolutely.
They knew pretty likely where they were. They had their ultimates. It didn't really work out because the portal put them all into a confined area, and you've got Li Ming orbs and resets. You've got Raynor does AoE damage with his give him some pepper, right? And then and Muradin's on the point, so he's gonna thunderclap you. So there are a lot of ways that didn't work well there. Really getting caught by the swap and stun, and she's taken out immediately with the Bloodlust. Cocoon going out, but it's gone. Greg, what do you think about this?
I think this might be the end of the game. This was a oh my god. This was a much different game than game 1, I'm going to be honest with you. Holy cow.
Well, and I think you're right. I think this is probably going to be the end. We've got 2 heroes down. We got a nearly, 2/3 shield immortal. And again, a lot of siege damage. They're already working on this. And I think you're right. I think they just kind of put themselves in an awkward position with their draft, trying to find a way to counter the Bloodlust. And and there you go.
I mean, the #1 counter was taken away from them. The Artanis, using at the AoE blind.
The suppression pulse.
Suppression pulse? Yeah, there it is. That's a pretty good counter to it. It's a long-lasting blind. I like that they went for blinds, but they kind of shoehorned themselves into, like you said, a very awkward composition for that map. I think on another map, this probably could have worked, but on a map where you really need those auto attackers, or at the very least some sort of single target blow up like Li Ming or Raynor or whatever have you, you really need that race. And like you said, Cassia was kind of their best racer, and that's usually just a you don't want to put yourself in that position. It's rough. There are better options.
Yeah, for sure. So in this case here, it's going to be a 2-0 victory for Puns Upon a Time. Their first NGS matchup as a team. All these players, or I think most of these players, prior NGS players, but this is their first match as a team. A victory 2-0, keeping the consistency of Division D West with the 2-0 victories. And Rec, why don't we go ahead and hop down into an NGS channel, grab ourselves an interview.
Sure.
Righty. Well, while we wait on, I believe Lulu is going to join. Just want a quick shout out to the Regen organization. If you are not following, make sure you check out the other casters there listed below for other quality content. And hello and welcome. We are now joined by Lulu from Puns Upon a Time. How you doing? How you feeling after that big victory in your first NGS match as a team?
Yeah, it's really exciting. This is our first match as a team, so very happy to come away with the W.
Sure, absolutely. So you guys had two very different games. You had the map selection of game 1, and then had first pick for game 2. So when taking that map on Dragonshire, which was a very controlled, honestly, long game in regards to like the team fights and things like that. What were some of the things that you were looking at? What were the things that they did that you were responding to? Or did you just, kind of go into it with an idea of this is how we want to play and then execute that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a map that we felt good on, and then they had banned Braxis. I was like, okay, this might actually be a good fit. If they don't like Braxis, maybe they don't like this map too, and we ended up being able to kind of outpush them in the bot lane and just keep pressure on pretty much the whole game, so worked out.
Sure, and certainly Barber up in the top lane with the Sonya against the Rexar doing amazing work. Eventually, it took a long time. It took about 14 and a half minutes before she was finally able to get onto the Rexar, the Sonya onto the Rexar. But the back and forth there, really a battle of wills. Really entertaining to kind of shift in and see that. But there were a couple of moments in that game where it felt like maybe there were some frustrating moments, not necessarily like anybody did anything wrong, but little things like Junkrat always being just a pain in the neck.
Existing. Yeah. Yeah, so they were actually able to get the first dragon on there, but we had a pretty good defense. There were a lot of times where it's like, oh man, they're so low, like can we just like kill them? But we couldn't. They had so much range in that first game. And I was just trying to stay back and stay away from Junkrat because he hurts me. And I could pull out my friends because I was Anduin.
For sure. And I do have to say, aside from your chastises in that game, which were quite instrumental in making sure that Muradin remembered his time in the graveyard, there was one particular play that I enjoyed watching, which was a combination between you and Juggerob. I think he was playing Blaze, right, in game 1?
Yep.
Yeah. So, Blaze with the jet propulsion is casting his combustion. You've got the light bomb, so the double stun with the combustion, and not to use the terminology appropriate, but everybody just melts and dies, right? It was a fantastic play. Make sure you clip it if you come back and watch this later, because it was a really great play. No question with that. Actually, I will ask a question. Was that planned or was that coincidental?
It was planned when it worked. There were some times where it was like, he's like, give me the light bomb, and then he just like didn't go anywhere, and we barely stunned Amisha with one of them. But when it worked, it was great.
Fair enough. So the time I was talking about is it was planned. Fair enough.
Yes, definitely, 100% intentional.
So they pick up the map pick for game number 2. They decide on Battlefield of Eternity. What was the conversation like going into that? Because you had what was a remarkably even with you guys. Like, I would say that for most of that game, you guys were like 5% ahead up until the very end. So you go into Battlefield of Eternity, which is, there's often a lot of brawling. Obviously, there's this big, heavy objective. What was your conversation like in between those games?
Yeah,
Without giving away
I mean,
anything trade
in
secrets.
both the games, you could tell that they had done some like scouting on us because they had some bands that were pretty much like, oh, look, okay, well, we wanted to do that, but that's fine. But we felt like we had a lot more race than them going into Battlefield of Eternity, and the way it worked out, we were always pretty much ready to start the objective right when it came up, and so when you have lots of race, that goes well for you. So it ended up working out well. Like even the it was even, but I don't know. We felt like we were in a good place with it still.
Sure. Rec, what questions do you have for Lou?
I've a couple. One is actually for the draft of game 2. So you guys picked Rhaegar in the 2-3, if I'm not mistaken. And that was, you obviously had a bloodlust in mind. Now, did you take Artanis away knowing that it was a good counter, or was that just kind of coincidental as well?
Well, so Barber kind of does what he wants, and Barber started hovering Artanis, so we went with Artanis.
Excellent. And then my
Yeah.
other question would be, are you coaching anyone right now? Because I could use one.
Hey, I know you probably haven't played Lucio before, but let me tell you what he's
Yeah,
giving
I've
bro.
never played that
I
game.
think I can give you some tips.
All right, great, excellent, thank you.
Yeah, just shoot me a DM.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, fair enough. I've got another question for you, and then of course my patented question. So Lulu, you're known for a certain thing. Is it Wooloos or Mareeps? And I hope I got the names right.
You did get the names right. I'm proud of you.
But do you know which one it is, Aero? One of my
Oof.
dear friends. Do you know which one I support?
I have a pretty good idea considering the spam in chat, but
Let's what is it?
I want to say that it's Mareeps.
Oh, nice job. We can still be friends. Yeah, Mareeps. Nexus Mareeps for life, that's even though I may be on another team in NGS, that's always my team in my heart.
Fair enough. All right. So my favorite question, of course, to wrap things up, any particular moments that you would like to shout out that you thought a play went really well, that you want to make sure gets highlighted?
So I don't know if it actually was a play that went all that well, but there was on Dragonshire. Yeah, it was Dragonshire. Rob got pulled behind the wall, booped behind the wall or something. So I was running towards him. I was like, I got you. But he just blazed away and went the long way around. And so I was like, wait, I'm Anduin. I can pull you out. But he lived anyways, so it was fine. He's just like, no, I got this. Like, okay, well, I tried to do the one thing I can do.
And I think that sounds very similar to what I said. Blaze got booped over, but it's okay. He's just gonna get right on out of there. No worries. One of the few places that you can fairly easily do that too. In most maps, you don't quite have that easy of an opportunity to walk away from the fort, but certainly on Dragonshire, there's an open.
It's like when you're playing one of those adventure games and you fall off a cliff and you're like, oh no, and then you land right where you needed to go and you're like, oh, all right.
Like at the beginning of Secret of Mana, where the main hero just falls down and happens to find this sword in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. Exactly like that.
That's
all right.
definitely a reference I understand.
It's a Super Nintendo game. You kids wouldn't understand.
Yeah. It is on iOS and probably Google Store, I would guess.
I think they remade it for the Switch as well. I might
there you go.
have to look. You might have to fact check me on that one, but.
Well, Lulu, let's go ahead and wrap up. Any shout outs you'd like to make?
Yeah, shout out to my team who has to put up with a whole bunch of puns and lame jokes from me every single day of their lives since they decided to join. I played with Wolvie and Bob last season, but Juggerob and Barber are new to us, so it's very exciting. We have to have this new team and have some fun. Shout out to We're Scaling. It was a lot of fun matches. Their captain also new to captaining, so we figured it out together. And shout out to Aero and Psychic for casting. I appreciate it, guys.
Well,
and
it's been a
thanks for you,
pleasure. We're
Diane.
glad that you could join us.
My favorite Dianes, really.
Oh, dabs. You can't see
So-
it, but I'm dabbing.
I was wrong. I'm going to ask one more question. What can we expect out of the puns for the rest of the season?
A whole bunch of really lame jokes, just like everywhere. There's no escaping the puns.
Are they lame because you don't have a leg to stand on?
Oh my gosh. Hey, Psychic, have you ever considered like changing teams? Like Region Phoenix not doing it for
Absolutely, I have every minute of every day. Not
All
really,
right.
though.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us, Lulu. Much appreciated. Congrats again on your victory. Don't forget to report your match. And thanks
Oh,
for
gotta
keeping
learn
the
how to do that.
yeah, thanks for keeping the 2-0 dream alive in D West, because all of the games have been 2-0s so far this season.
Nice.
There you go.
That's exciting.
And have a good night.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Bye. Look at this. See, I don't even have to tab out of the game. I'm already here. Look at
You're already here. So there we go, Rec. We're all done. A relatively quick cast, just right about an hour. And it's Friday night, so there's all kinds of fun things that you can do now.
The night is young, and so are we.
Well, some of us are.
Here.
Some of us are approaching Deckard Cain levels of
Oh no! Of elderly. Oh
Exactly.
dear. Respect the elderly.
So, all right. Well, Rec, anything that you'd like to say to Twitch chat before we head off for the evening?
Sure. I hope everyone had a good cast. Hope everyone has a great season 10. It's gonna be a great time, I promise. Shout outs to everyone in chat. Feels good. I'll see all you Dianes out there in the Nexus. And yeah, this has been your boy, Repsychic.
And I actually have to do a quick, I didn't catch this, so give me 1 second, Colonel Pants. Hold on 1 second, this is really important.
Okay. I don't think I can come over there.
All right. Let's see, make sure we're on the actual camera here. I had to pick her up off of the futon. She was sleeping. She's not happy about this. But we got Alpha. She's saying hello. Colonel Pants redeemed this an hour ago, and I missed it. So just wanted to say goodbye to everybody out there, and we're gonna send everybody out to Weenus. Weenus is casting a Division E matchup between a couple of teams. Illa Dancing Queens being one of them, and the other team is another Div E team named Bull Moose Party. That was me stalling so that I could find it. So we're going to send everybody over there. Thanks for joining us here tonight, everybody. Hope you had a good and enjoyable time in the cast. And thanks to Slick Rub and Yelly Games and Real Gamer and Zigo. Anybody else? Come on. Well, let's go. And anybody else that followed in the time here tonight, we appreciate you stopping by. Make sure that you check out the other casters mentioned below, as they are all part of the Regen Network. Really great quality stuff here, and we can't do it without your support. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Have a wonderful night.